Police arrest a second man in the alleged abduction of a Markham International student. And turf wars between residents and pet owners gets ugly as marking their territory leads to violence. Good evening, I'm Mike Wise. It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children will be tomorrow afternoon? Many school boards are warning parents that thousands of high school students may be planning a walkout to protest upcoming education cutbacks and changes. Adrian Chung has more.
On a school night, they'd normally be studying for the big math test tomorrow, but these aren't normal times for Ontario students. Potentially thousands of high school students are prepared to walk out of class on Thursday afternoon to protest the proposed cuts to the province's education system.
Students are not numbers, teachers aren't numbers, and communities aren't numbers. You can't cut education just because it'll be better for a different group.
The Ford government is revamping the sex ed and math curriculum. It also plans to lift the current cap on class sizes. Boards are looking at laying off teachers as a result.
Bigger class size is a big thing that affects us as well. I know my classes, some of them are already relatively large, and then to add to that, it's just going to be a big thing.
Many parents standing right behind their kids.
These students, they want to be heard. They know they can't be voted, but they are future voters.
School boards across the province are scrambling to deal with the mass walkouts. Some, like the York Catholic District School Board, sending a warning back home to parents in a letter saying, "We also ask that you please communicate to your son/daughter the importance of not participating in activities that are against the law." While the Toronto District School Board released a statement saying teachers and staff will be on standby both in and out of classes if protests happen, but that it isn't taking a stance on whether students should or shouldn't march. At Queen's Park, the opposition grilled Education Minister Lisa Thompson about the upcoming changes. She fired right back in question period.
Classrooms should be a place for learning.
Exactly.
Not for pushing ideologies and nonsense and fear-mongering.
The students who march tomorrow aren't old enough to vote, but their parents say the province would do well to listen.
If they're not, they're crazy, because the future generations are what are going to make and cause changes for us.
Rather than voting, this is the way they'll have their say.
I think it shows that we have voices and we have rights as well. Just because we're under the age and we can't vote doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a say in it.
Adrian Chung, CBC News, Toronto.
Police have now arrested a second suspect in the abduction of Wanzhen Liu. 33-year-old Hashim Abdullahi is facing 4 charges, including kidnap for ransom. He was picked up during a police raid last night in Brampton. Kel DeYoon spoke to some of his neighbors.
You can still see signs of yesterday's raid at Hashim Abdullahi's apartment. This neighbor lives right across the hall. He said he was awoken from a nap.
I heard police, search warrant, open the door about twice. And then I heard them break down the door. I heard like a flash grenade or something go off inside.
Both he and another neighbor say it isn't the first time the door has been knocked down.
To be honest, people are always going in and out that apartment. The door was broken before that. So I thought something, I know, same situation, they're fighting with themselves, or he's locked out or drunk, or I'm not even sure.
Hashim Abdullahi appeared briefly in a Newmarket court today. He faces the same charges as the first suspect who was arrested, Abdullahi Adan. Wanzhen Liu was known to drive several expensive cars, including a Rolls-Royce and a Lamborghini. He was taken from the parking garage of his Markham condo over 2 weeks ago. 3 days later, he was found in Gravenhurst. Police say they are closing in on the 2 remaining suspects.
We know that somebody knows who these people are. You can see the clothing that they're wearing. We believe that somebody is aware of what these people have done. We're also aware that the suspects are probably following along very closely as well.
Meanwhile, those here say they are rattled after finding out a suspect in a high-profile kidnapping case was their neighbor.
It came as a bit of a shock there when all the action went down yesterday.
You never know who is really living beside you until you do.
York Regional Police, meanwhile, remain tight-lipped about the victim, Wanzhen Liu. As they stated before, they don't want to say anything more until all 4 suspects are in custody because they are concerned for his safety. Kel DeYoon, CBC News, Brampton.
Well, they are on the front lines when it comes to dealing with the consequences of gun violence. And today, health professionals came together to call for a ban on those weapons.
Welcome to the first National Day of Action in support of a safer country free of the hazards of handguns and assault-style weapons.
Dozens of doctors, nurses, and emergency room specialists gathered near St. Michael's Hospital. They are calling for deaths and injuries from weapons to be treated like other public health issues, saying the threat is increasing every year. And some downtown residents at a condo complex are also calling for change on a much different matter. They are getting increasingly frustrated with dog owners who are breaking the rules. Greg Ross has more on how tensions are rising in the turf wars.
Is this one yours? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
It's literally a turf war, and it's been brewing for years.
Hi. Wow, that's scary. Whoa. Hi, dogs.
Dog owners in the downtown neighborhood City Place have been using this artificial turf sports field as an unofficial dog park. But some residents who use the field for recreation are taking exception. Yesterday morning, things came to a head.
Did somebody slap the phone into your hand, or did they actually hit you?
No, the phone was slapped out of my hand, made contact with my wrist. I saw the comments online where, I was punched in the face. None of that is true. Are you responding to this one?
Arthur Mellon says he recorded this video out of frustration that people continue to ignore city bylaw signs that clearly say this is not a dog park.
You see them down here constantly with the dogs off leash. They're, defecating on the field. I just want to enjoy the neighborhood.
This dog owner says Mellon got what he deserved.
He shouldn't be going around videotaping other people. That's none of his business.
The people that he was videotaping were breaking the law.
No, they weren't breaking the law. They just need a place to let their dogs free. It's not like their dogs are doing anything illegal. They're just running around happy.
They were actually off leash, though, which is illegal.
But they weren't harming anybody.
There is an actual dog park just steps from the sports field. But many dog owners here say it's in rough shape and very small.
You've got so much open space, and they give us this small little section. And I think that's why people are going to this turf.
Definitely it's frustrating.
Gary Peters is the president of the City Place Residents Association. He says the dispute is getting worse by the day, and in some cases, it's getting personal.
There's a lot of community conflict. There's a lot of insults thrown between dog owners and non-dog owners.
City Councillor Joe Cressy says there are plans to build a new, bigger dog park just south of the sports field as part of the Bentway project. In the meantime, he says improvements to the existing dog park are coming this spring.
We have natural grass areas where people can walk with dogs on leashes. We have playgrounds that are coming where kids can play with their kids.
Something else that's coming is 2 new elementary schools already under construction just on the east side of this sports field. And the plan is for students to be able to use this sports field as well. So that's only going to make it that much more difficult for dog owners to use this as a dog park. And if they are caught with their dogs off leash here on this field, they can face a $260 fine. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
Colette Kennedy's here with the first look at the weather forecast. I'm glad to see these winds die down finally.
Yeah, it's nice to see after all the problems earlier when you've got winds gusting to 80 kilometers an hour and even stronger. So yes, those winds easing now. They'll be lighter, but still enough to give us a wind chill. So a cool start tomorrow morning, but overnight tonight we have quiet weather conditions, no active weather to speak of. And for the day Thursday through the GTA, things look that way as well until we get into Thursday night, Friday. So it does mean we'll see quite a bit of sunshine as we go through Thursday. Now, southwestern Ontario, different story. You're seeing the cloud cover inherited from this next system through here, and even a chance of getting a little bit of light mix, likely showers, not so much wet flurries, but that possibility there. Warmer temperatures towards the GTA with more sunshine. Then as we head through Thursday night and we're approaching Friday morning, more significant rain showers move in. Could have a little bit of a very light mix on Friday morning before this turns into a shower event through the GTA and on into eastern Ontario, and then a clearing trend later on Friday for southwestern parts of the province. Overnight tonight for the city, -2 with partly cloudy skies. Feels like -6 tomorrow morning, but the high in the afternoon with all that sunshine, 6 degrees. Mike, we've got a warm-up coming for the weekend too. I'll talk about that a little later.
I would hope so. Something to look forward to. Thanks, Colette.
You're welcome.
Well, today's forecast had some sun, rain, and tons of wind. But how can the city best deal with all those gusts? Well, better design can help. We'll bring you that story coming up after the break. Welcome back. On blustery days like today, it can feel like you're walking in a wind tunnel downtown. Now, most of us blame Mother Nature for that, but perhaps we should be blaming our architects instead. Natalie Nanowski tells us how better design may be helping to fix things.
I'm sure you felt it, those strong gusts of wind when you're walking through the city, especially in the downtown core. But what's happening here on the ground doesn't have so much to do with Mother Nature as it does with skyscrapers.
I'm Haitham Abu Shusha. I'm an assistant professor at Ryerson University, and I'm studying wind engineering for more than 10 years.
There's so many wind tunnels in Toronto, but that's not what they're called.
Okay, so that's a misconception. The right terminology of what you said is the downward, the vortex, again, like the corner vortex or the funneling. Let's say the wind is this way, it will hit the upper part of the building and then get diverted downward.
Once a building stops wind in its path, the wind slides down the facade, hitting the ground and causing a vortex.
Normally, channeling effect when you have two buildings, okay, beside each other facing the wind. And what happened is the gap between the wind, like the two buildings, the wind speeds up in there.
Skyscrapers have been going up for the last 100 years. Conditions got so bad in the 80s that climbing ropes were installed along Front Street to prevent people from being blown away. Thankfully, in the last 20 years, we've come up with better solutions.
So this is the wind tunnel at it's called the subsonic wind tunnel at Ryerson University, and here we can actually test buildings or bridges at different scales.
Sensors are used to see how wind interacts with buildings at different heights. Engineers then use that information to make changes to a building's design. Adding a podium to the bottom of a building, for instance, stops those gusts of wind that are caused by a downwash.
There is a wind that's going downward, parallel to the face of the building. If you have something that's sticking out, it will redivert it.
Another solution? Hedges.
When these leaves grow, okay, it will block the wind. Behind that wall or hedge, it will reduce it in a way that's going to be like a gentle breeze.
A full pedestrian wind analysis takes about a week or two. Problem is, when another building goes up, that could change the reading.
It's coming this way. Again, it's back and forth.
So developers and cities need to be willing to make adjustments, and quick. In a city like Toronto, there are nearly 400 new buildings proposed. Natalie Nanowski, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, we have a story about some musical instruments now, not wind instruments, but strings, and how a musician running a volunteer violin program is helping to change some young lives. Ali Chasson caught up with the aspiring artists.
I show them how to put the violin in the case and take it out. I show them how to tighten the bow. Of course, they cannot tune the violin, so I do that. And then they play 2-3 notes and their eyes go absolutely wild with excitement.
Concert violinist Moshe Hammer has led orchestras, but his most inspiring performance is amongst a symphony of grade schoolers.
And when I grow up, I want to play the violin too.
Principal Bual says they're in an extracurricular desert.
They don't have access to those programs outside the school. And they're very important to our students for their social and emotional well-being.
I heard you playing along beautifully. How long have you been doing this?
About 2 years. I love to sing and I love to listen to music. It gets me really relaxed. This is Bertha 2. Bertha 2.
Who's Bertha 1?
My bicycle.
I love it.
I just feel he's become a leader, and Hammer Band has helped him become that. And he's really thriving. I'm so proud of him.
The Hammer Band program has been around for almost 15 years. Now, with a team of violin teachers and donated instruments, they're in over 40 schools in priority neighborhoods. Hammer says music teaches lasting lessons.
How important it is to be on time. What it means to be responsible.
My violin is special in my own way because I can use it to make beautiful sounds.
The kids take the violins home, along with a sense of confidence.
Who knows where it will take them?
Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
The Raptors in Brooklyn tonight in a potential first-round playoff match. Opening quarter, Kawhi Leonard gets a bounce pass here from Pascal Siakam, takes it to the rim, throws it down with two hands. Third quarter, Leonard with a beautiful spin move coming up here as he jams it home. He would finish with 26 points and 9 rebounds. Now in the fourth, watch Kyle Lowry for a second, just controlling the ball. He kicks it out to Siakam, who then nail another three. Siakam would finish with a game-high 28 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Raptors win their fifth in a row, 115-105. And the Blue Jays trying to avoid a series sweep this afternoon against the Orioles. Jays starter Matt Shoemaker with a strong game. He pitched 7 scoreless innings with 8 strikeouts. Third inning, Randal Grichuk, fresh off his 5-year, $52 million contract extension with a solo home run here. He would follow that by crushing a second home run in the 8th. Toronto would go on to beat Baltimore 5-3 and snap a 3-game losing skid. Colette is back with her extended forecast. You've said we can look forward to a warm-up this weekend. We just have to get through this work week first.
Yeah, and we are getting there. We are plowing our way through. Well, not literally, luckily.
No
they were, yeah, exactly. They were plowing their way through, though. Look at this record. Snowfall, 17.5 centimeters on this date in history, just back in 1975. Okay, it's a just for someone of my age. But anyway, you know what? There was also 10 centimeters of snow on the ground on that date in history in 1975. Record high for this time of year, 22.2, okay, but the record low, -12, that's significant because that was back in 1954. That's been holding a long time because, say, yesterday's record low was around -6, so that was a cold, cold day that they experienced there. All right, a look at what we will be experiencing. We've got quiet conditions tonight through the GTA and through much of southwestern Ontario, but clouds beginning to roll in as the next system approaches. So towards the Windsor area, you'll be picking up the cloud cover, not only that, but precipitation as we head into Friday. Prior to that, though, we have a beautiful day through Toronto tomorrow with a lot of sunshine. It's Friday morning I want to bring your attention to. We could see just a little bit of a light mix until the temperatures rise and this turns over to rain showers all the way through to the afternoon hours, and then a clearing trend back through London, through the GTA, and eventually into eastern Ontario in time for the weekend. I'll show you the temperatures for the weekend in the 5-day forecast in just a moment. Overnight lows, you're looking at southwestern Ontario. You see them here with that chance of seeing some showers or even some wet flurries mixing in because of those temperatures. There's that risk. Tomorrow afternoon, the chance there, especially the further you are towards the U.S. border. So that's where we're looking at seeing maybe a little bit of that activity pushing in most of the day, though it should be just the cloud cover you're dealing with. 5 degrees, 6 degrees as you travel eastward. And we're looking at temperatures -2 tonight. For most part, St. Catharines -1 through the GTA, and then tomorrow 6 to 7 with all of that sunshine. So we get a nice break on Thursday, then it's Thursday night into Friday. Things change a little bit. We've got to get through a bit of mix and some showers, and then we really see the improvement into the weekend. A big warm up, 14 degrees with sunshine Saturday. Clouds will be rolling in Sunday, though, in late day showers, but still those temperatures will hold in the double digits, Mike.
It will still start to feel like spring finally.
Yes, yeah, where we can, get a few days of it, right?
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Colette.
You're welcome.
Every pet owner thinks their pet is the most amazing, but this next pooch might make you reconsider. Rev and his owner Madison have made it to the finals for the World's Most Amazing Dog. That is a show that is streamed on Facebook. And after you see what Rev can do, you will realize why he made the cut. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Madison Phelan, and this is my dog, Rev. We're gonna show you guys some tricks. Boing, boing. Rev is a 5-year-old border collie. Rev came into my life when he was 10 weeks old. I wanted a super fast agility dog. He definitely lived up to that. Go, go, go! I heard about the contest when I saw lots of people that I know online, they were all posting videos of their dogs. I wasn't going to enter the contest in the first place, so I think it's just wild how we got this far.
No.
No way.
We ended up with the Connect 4 video, and so that's what I decided to send in. I taught him to put a toonie or a coin in a piggy bank, and so that's where that kind of came from. It was a nice calm trick because sometimes he just gets too crazy and we need to kind of calm down a little bit, so this is a good calming one for him. Go, your turn. Good boy. Yes, sit down. Yes. I mean, I thought he was definitely capable of doing it. I just didn't know how far he would get, so I just kind of went in just to see, and now we're in the finals, so it's crazy.
Please welcome Rev and his owner, Madison.
We went to California to film. I was really nervous. Like, the rehearsal day wasn't too bad, but then the day of, it was just like, I was just a bunch of nerves, and he definitely sensed it, and so he was the same way. So you really have to work together and try to be calm, or his performance won't go as well. Put it back, switch, put it back, cross. His personality, I know personality was definitely part of the judging criteria, and I definitely think he has the personality because he's quite comical and he acts almost like a human. It's like, it's my turn. What do you have to say? And we definitely upped our game for the finals. The trick where he's standing up on my feet, I just kind of added that one at the last minute too. Sit up.
15 seconds left.
It's definitely a risk, but I was willing to take it. And I think he was too, because when we were practicing, he was doing it perfectly. But any other time, he just wasn't doing it. So I don't know, it was like he was just telling me to put that trick in there or something. Sit. Sit your bum. Sit your bum. Sit your bum. Sit. Good boy. No matter the outcome though, I'm so grateful for the whole experience. It was definitely something that I'll look back to like for years to come, forever.
Now, Rev and Madison are from Georgetown. People have been voting for the amazing duo on Facebook. They're actually going to find out if they win that title and the $100,000 prize tomorrow. That's also when we'll see you again. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Good night.